Welcome back to Issues and Answers. The Citizen Security and Justice Program is an important initiative of the state to deal with the issue of needed social intervention in areas that are vulnerable and among persons who are at risk. The Communications and Social Marketing Coordinator at the CSJP, Patrice Nephew, is our guest. And Patrice, we had mentioned that there are concrete results, concrete positive results that have been flowing from CSJP. People's lives are being changed. And you help people in ways that might not be generally known. For example, you help young people who might not have the guarantors who are necessary to get a student loan benefit. You help them with tuition funding.
Yes, there are several youngsters who have benefited from our tuition assistance, both at the secondary and the tertiary level. Oh. However, with our case management approach now, what we're looking into is integrating that sort of assistance as part of the overall case plan for our youngsters. Oh. But we have youngsters now, we have many lawyers, doctors, and I'm not exaggerating, who have come out of our program. We have a youngster from we have a youngster from Waterhouse who the other day he graduated. He did very well at the School of Law. He also he went to China to present a paper on climate change, because I mean, once we give youngsters that opportunity to go to university, to places of higher learning, what would I say now, the opportunities open up for them. Mm-hmm. We have a young lady Nicole Nation from Montego Bay, who she's now a doctor, and she actually got the Queen's Award for Youth Leadership as well a couple of years ago. We have a young lady now who is in Paris teaching, a young lady from Waterhouse, I believe, who is now in Paris teaching English. She got a scholarship from the CSJP to go to Teachers College. She did modern languages. Now she is in Europe. You know, so the opportunities are there. However, as I said, this has to be part of a treatment plan for these youngsters to ensure, because we plan, our community case management team works along with them to see what their priorities are, what they need to do to get there. And of course, it has to also be tied into the whole crime prevention agenda. So people have access to counseling services, to professional psychological Certainly. A matter of fact, last year alone, over 400 youngsters got help, psychological services in terms of group and individual counseling, family counseling. We have parenting initiatives, because we cannot neglect the fact that parenting plays a crucial role in a child's development and in nation building. Yes. Certainly.
So tell us about the parenting work that you do.
Well, currently we are training community parent trainers. So we're training trainers. So, you know, the whole thing of peer, you listen to your peer persons who have walked a mile in your shoe. It would be more authentic to hear it from them. So now our psychological services unit is busy recruiting and training parents within our communities to reach out to other parents, to share best practices, to share the ideal practices. You know, parenting might be one of those things that maybe no one has it 100% correct. However, we can come close. And there are certain things that are proven and tested to work and not to work, right? There's also substance abuse counseling and treatment, because truth be told, many of our youngsters, because of the stresses of life too, turn to certain substances, most of which are illegal, as some form of a relief. Now, through the counseling, they're enabled to deal with their issues in different ways. And the addictions are dealt with. And, you know, there are many jobs, especially in the vocational areas, that require sound mind and body. So that has to be part of the case plan as well. We have to get that out of the way before they are ready. There's also life skills. Now, every program that we offer, especially in terms of vocational training, we're not only prepare the youngster for the world of work in terms of tactical skills, but we also look at life skills, the importance of punctuality, the importance of professionalism, decorum, dress and decorum, all of that is dealt with, because truth be told, some cultures, there's a dancehall culture, there's a you come in at a certain time in the morning, you wake up at a certain time,
you leave dance 4 o'clock,
right, so you know that to reach to work by 8:30 it's a different kettle of fish right there. There's a different discipline, therefore persons are prepared, so there's job readiness. There's also we've had some good partners over the years. The Jamaica Defense Force has been one of our significant government partners, in the sense that over 450 youngsters have been trained after they've received the vocational skills training, have been to the JDF to get on-the-job training with the engineer regiment. So there are actually certain buildings at Up Park Camp that were built along with or by our CSJP beneficiaries, and we've had at least 5 youngsters who've actually been recruited by the Army. That was not the original intent, but guess what? Having been there, having seen how the soldiers do things, they have seen, the youngsters have seen an opportunity. And what we've found is that appreciation for law and order has been improved by these youngsters. And we also realize that it is also some resocialization for even the soldiers who might have had an adverse view of youngsters from inner city areas. We've also had the Jamaica Public Service Company, who had taken on some of the youngsters who were part of the JDF program, who did electrical installation, and they took 20-something interns in the first phase. Now they have 45 interns, because they've seen the worth of the CSJP interns. Some of them now are being trained as linesmen. We know that many linesmen are migrating. Here is an opportunity for CSJP youngsters from the inner city to be trained as linesmen. It's a prestigious job. We actually have a young man who is from Majestic Gardens, he was a bus loader. He was a loaderman some years ago, and he got in touch with the CSJP, or we found him. he did his vocational skills training. He went on to the JDF internship program, then to JPS. Now he's a linesman in training. This is a significant change that you can't even quantify, you can't even qualify, because the impact that this would have on him, his family, his community. And that's the change, the social intervention, the change that the CSJP proposes and actually has realized in the lives of so many youngsters. Because even though we might have, say, over 20,000 youngsters who would have benefited from, say, vocational skills training and tertiary scholarships and all of that, but we're looking at the many families that have been impacted, the many communities.
Absolutely right. So the multiplier effect and the virtuous circle is inestimable.
Certainly.
We have to talk more. We have to bring you back, because there's so much that is happening with this program. The state is, in fact, providing social intervention program, social intervention type outreach. And it's not just a matter of using hard policing strategies. Patrice Nephew is the Communications and Social Marketing Coordinator at the Citizen Security and Justice Program. We're going to have her back talking about more things to do with CSJP. Until next week, Ian Bourne wishing you a very pleasant day.